Fans, welcome to another preview video. Quick turnaround for the Lakers. Going to be hosting the Clippers Friday night at Crypto. This will be one of two games at Crypto against the Clippers this weekend, actually. It'll round out the season series. They play 4 times this year. They already played twice at the Intuit Dome. Both games were blowouts. And the first game was a blowout. The Clippers blew out the Lakers. Zubac had a huge game in that one. And then the second game, LeBron had a massive performance and blew out the Clippers in that one. So kind of hard to get a read on what these two games are going to look like and could be very pivotal coming down the stretch for the playoffs. So we're going to get to that in a second. First, going to take a look back at the win against Minnesota, 111-102. First night of the back-to-back. Interesting game because Minnesota, 6.5-point dogs coming into the game, missing Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. Julius Randle's their second leading scorer, and Rudy Gobert really is their anchor defensively. He's what makes it all go there on the back end. So they were going to be shorthanded, and it kind of reflected in the betting line, but they fought. And they came out early, the Lakers. They were kind of getting whatever they wanted. I think they really missed Rudy Gobert's defensive presence down low and didn't really have someone else to get a go-to bucket besides Anthony Edwards because he was struggling early in the game. But they were kind of hanging around, made a little run at the end of the first half. And then when Anthony Edwards gets thrown out of the game after the technical, when he was chirping with Vando and shoved him and then said something to the ref, it felt like, okay, with Lakers holding a 12, 14-point lead, they're just going to kind of walk away with this one. And that didn't happen. The Timberwolves, to their credit, fought. They got a really good young team, and I think you're seeing it not just be Anthony Edwards now. Terrence Shannon was excellent, had 25 points. Dillingham is a really good young player. Alexander Walker, really good young player. And we saw they've kind of been the comeback kids recently. They came back down 25 against Oklahoma City earlier this week, the number 1 team in the Western Conference in terms of record. So this was a team not to take lightly. And yes, was it the prettiest performance? No, because Anthony Edwards did go out in the third quarter, and that definitely did have something to do with it. But I love what I saw when they cut it to 3, and the Lakers really buckled down. And Luka, after having been 0 of 8 from the three-point line, hit a big 3, hit that big driving layup, even though they were missing free throws left and right. Reeves, LeBron, and him combined for 77 points. And again, Luka's shot's only going to keep coming back, and they're going to get this figured out. So I thought it was a very good win, and a win that now you're tied with the Timberwolves in a season series. So you're 2-2, so you're not losing a tiebreaker to Minnesota. It really would have sucked had Minnesota won that game, and the Lakers are sitting there looking. If you go on a little skid and Minnesota happens to have the same record as you, they're jumping you. So big performance from the Lakers. Free throws was a major issue. They missed way too many free throws. If they made their free throws, that wouldn't have even been a game at the end. But hopefully the Lakers are in the gym on Friday midday working on some free throws because that was pretty rough last night. But still, got a big W. Lakers playing unreal basketball right now, 16-4 in their last 20 games, number 1 in defensive efficiency the last month. And it's exciting to see. For a team that everyone said couldn't play defense because they lost Anthony Davis and added Luka Doncic, they're really proving everyone wrong, and it's great to see. Looking at the Clippers specifically, the Clippers are an interesting team because they have stars. Kawhi Leonard's their star, but he hasn't been reliable. He's been hurt for a lot of his career, especially the last few years. He's missed more games than he's played, I believe. And it's been a real problem for the Clippers. And on paper, you've looked at the Clippers the last few years and gone, really for the last 5 years since Kawhi and Paul George were there, and then now James Harden, and looked at this is a team that can make a run, except they're never healthy. And I feel like they kind of miss that go-to guy. Yes, Kawhi, when he's healthy, is the go-to guy. He's an elite player in the NBA, but he's never healthy. So it's kind of hard to say he's the go-to guy when all that's going on. This is a very talented team. Norman Powell's actually the leading scorer. He averages a little over 24 points a game, but he is questionable with a knee injury, so major question mark there. He is an excellent player and has had some big games against the Lakers. Kawhi is only averaging 17 points per game this year, but we all know what he does. Derrick Jones Jr., 10 points per game. Zubac's been having a really excellent year, kind of a breakout year, about 15 points per game, as well as leading the team with about 13 rebounds per game. And Harden does his thing, scoring 22 a game. Bogdanovich comes off the bench, has 11 points per game, and Coffey has 10 points per game off the bench. So they have 7 players that average double figures. So this is a team that can really hit you from all areas. It's not just 1 or 2 guys that you got to watch out for. Even though Minnesota, as I was saying earlier, is really young and talented, it's still you're focusing on Anthony Edwards, and you're going to live with other guys hitting shots. And the Lakers have been playing defense kind of like that of we're going to pack it in, we're going to jump passing lanes, we're going to get after you defensively and force your guys to hit threes. This is a team, the Clippers, that could take advantage of that because they do have a lot of shooters around the perimeter. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. Ben Simmons was the pickup at the trade deadline buyout market. The Lakers have not seen him this year so far in a Clipper uniform. I expect him to get a lot of run in this game, mainly because Chris Dunn has been the starting point guard, but he's not some great defender. And I think you're going to be looking at the way the Lakers have been playing offense. We've been talking about it. Alan on the postgame show was talking about it. Luka, LeBron, and Reeves. I mean, Reeves is getting the third best defensive player in the game, in the starting lineup, on-ball defender. So he's exploiting this. Luka's doing his thing. LeBron's doing their thing. And Ben Simmons, for all his career has amounted to and all the kind of problems and the lack of jump shot and not living up to hype, he is a damn good defender. So I expect him to probably jump into the starting lineup tomorrow night. Maybe he comes off the bench and plays a lot of minutes. I'd expect him to be following Luka around most of the game, and they try to let Kawhi guard LeBron and then kind of throw everyone at Reeves. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Simmons is a much bigger factor in this game, but that's something for the Lakers to exploit because he can't shoot threes. So it's kind of a 5-on-4. He can't really shoot, period. So making him shoot jump shots is a winning recipe for the Lakers. The betting line told us a lot in this game. I was really surprised. The Lakers opened as 1.5-point favorites with the point total set at 221.5, which made sense. I thought crosstown rival in LA, 1.5-point favorites. I thought they'd actually be more like 3-point favorites. The line has moved all the way to the Clippers being favored by 3.5, with the total coming down to 220.5. My only explanation for this is that they think Norman Powell is going to play, and Rui Hachimura obviously getting hurt in this game against Minnesota. We don't know his status yet. It's still very early, but not probably looking like he's going to play in this one. I'm kind of surprised that makes a 4-point swing. So you can actually get the Lakers at plus money right now for all you gamblers out there who want to take advantage of that. Maybe it's because of the back-to-back, second night of a back-to-back. They think that they might be a little tired coming out of the gates, but still kind of surprised about that betting line. Could definitely take advantage of that. The Clippers and the Lakers are an interesting spot because the Lakers are looking upwards. The Lakers are looking to get that 2 seed, running it down 16-4, as I mentioned, in the last 20 games. And they picked up a game on the Nuggets tonight. The Nuggets lost to the Bucks, which was big, and the Lakers obviously won. So they are 1 game back at Denver and 1.5 games back of Memphis for that 2 seed. So they're really looking up. And the Rockets have been playing better ball as of recently, but have kind of been in a free fall. The Clippers are in the 6th spot, so right outside the play-in. They're 4.5 games back of the Lakers. And this is where it's going to be really interesting coming down the stretch. So they're all within 2 games of each other. Golden State, Minnesota, Dallas, and Sacramento are all right there. So a skid by any of these teams could kind of spell doom. And because Phoenix is sitting right outside the 11th spot, they've been awful in the month of February. They're like 2-8 or something like that. But still, that is a team that could somehow get hot at the end of the year and sneak in. So it's going to be interesting to see the seeding and where they go. Obviously, the Warriors have been playing excellent ball recently, 7-1 with Butler on the floor. They kind of look like they have a little bit of an uptick. Sacramento, losing De'Aaron Fox, how good are they going to be? But Minnesota is a good team, and Dallas is only going to get healthier. So the Clippers are in an interesting spot. These are a big 2 games because you don't want to – we keep going back to tiebreakers every video. You don't want to lose tiebreakers. And if you split this weekend, then so be it. It's series tied, and you're not really worried about them jumping you. But if a team can win both of these games, if the Lakers can win both these games against the Clippers, you're looking at potentially knocking the Clippers out of the play-in, if depending on how these other teams do. If the Clippers were able to win both games, that could be problematic for the Lakers in terms of that the Clippers will have just gained 2 games on the Lakers and hold a tiebreaker. So down the stretch, that would they need to have a better record than the Clippers to not just tie them, because that wouldn't be good. And really want the Lakers to get a home court advantage in a playoff series. Hasn't happened in over 10 years. That would be great, where the Lakers aren't climbing, always having to go on the road and get big W's. It's coming through LA. So excited for this game. Always a fun matchup. Again, for all you gamblers, you want to grab the Lakers at plus money out there. Might have to throw a little money on that one. But Alan's going to get you on on his show tomorrow, and then his post game show at night. Hopefully, we're all talking about a Laker W. And I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Go Lakers.